So recently the new MLS shirts came out, and some of them look really good. So today I want to give more attention to a lot of these shirts and grade them. But I want to show you guys something new first though. I call it the side-by-side advertising. So just a quick little note, I'm only gonna grade the newly released MLS shirts from this year. Just makes my job a lot easier and less confusing. By the way, I'd love to do a grading of the J-League shirts that just recently came out, but I'll only do that if we hit 7,000 likes. So we'll start off firstly with the Atlanta United home shirts. It pays homage to the inaugural 2017 shirt that they wore, and obviously when you do throw it back to a shirt that was made just 6 years ago, it can, go either way. I mean, it's clean. There's more touches of gold, which I do like. I'll give it a B. Next, we have the Austin FC home shirt. I don't know how to really describe this other than to say this looks like the Sassuolo design from a few years ago, but this time instead, the designer is on massive amounts of LSD. It does have a very interesting explanation for why it's like this. It's called the Mls Kit. It is to establish a uniquely Austin perspective on the coming together of voices from across Austin through the Austin FC community. That was a lot of Austins. Let's be fair here. That's total PR bullshit. I will say though, something about this shirt doesn't make me hate it. Next we have Identity Crisis FC Montreal. It very much looks like a standard Adidas B team template from what I'm seeing. It doesn't really impress me, pop at me, or really anything. Next we have Charlotte FC's quote-unquote Crown Jewel kit. And I know there's gonna be quite some disagreements here, but I really do not like this shirt. I think the purple could have been done so much better. The fact that it has blue lettering for me, it doesn't work. It's a shame though, because I do like purple shirts. I mean, look at Fiorentina, for example. But this, I mean, it just looks like the Wildberry Pop-Tart, like everyone said. Next, we have the Colorado Rapids away shirts. The New Day, as they call it. This shirt was in collaboration with a street artist by the name of Pat Milbury, which is pretty cool and also much better at representing a culture. This is a street artist well known for his pieces. I would say it's definitely much better than Austin FC's FC Barcelona remake. There's actually a good amount of meaning behind all the colors used on this shirt. For example, the bluebird color and geometric design invoke power, positivity, and possibility, while the touches of gold and fuchsia are actually odes to Colorado sunrises and sunsets. Now that's cool and all, but how does the actual shirt look? It's not popping out at me or anything, but it definitely represents Colorado. It's very hip. And Colorado is extremely fucking hip. Next, we have Columbus Crew with their Velocity kit. That's how it says it here. You have a very simple black base, some touches of yellow here or there, and then finally there's the main pattern, which I guess is supposed to represent, velocity, speed in any given direction. I still know that from physics, even though I definitely failed that class. I do really like the very, very tiny touch of motion blur. I think this really is what completes the shirt's design. Chicago Fire's away shirts. Looks like confetti just dropped onto a white shirt. 20 years later, it's just now stuck on the shirt, and we have this. I actually really like this shirt. It fulfilled the whole shirt, which is something that none of the middle badge templates had done in the past, especially in the World Cup. But it's very vibrant, it pops out at you. It is also actually inspiration from the Chicago flag itself. I think the render itself looks really good. I think it'll even look better in person. Next, we have FC Cincinnati's home shirt, dubbed the River Kit. I feel like these names are actually getting worse and worse. I don't know about this one, man. It just looks like a normal template, and then they just slapped on like a stock image of water pouring out of a glass or something. You know what I'm talking about. The sash design, though, pays homage to the Ohio River, which really isn't in any good state right now. Next, we have FC Dallas's 2023 Burn Baby Burn shirt. It just feels a bit tacky. I think that's the best way to put it. If we're talking about a Burn Baby Burn shirt, I really want to feel the burn. I don't feel that. All I see are clip art flames. It does throw back to an older design back in 1996, but this one is just far better than what we have right now. Why not just do that? If we had a modern take of this classic shirt, oh, it'd be fire. It would be Burn Baby Burn. I'm gonna stop. This will be about the only thing that DC United fans will enjoy throughout this entire year, and that'll be their Cherry Blossom kit. Now, why exactly is there a Cherry Blossom kit for DC United? Let me explain. The cherry trees in Washington, DC are actually a very famous tourist attraction. The cherry blossom trees are actually a gift from the Japanese back in 1912. It was a symbol of friendship between the two countries. Boy, did that last very long. The shirt itself, though, looks fantastic. I love the touches of pink alongside the cherry blossoms. There's also the bit on the back of the collar. That looks really cool. Next, we have Houston Dynamo's Bayou City Kit. This is just a black shirt, simple design, kind of gives you more so like a smoky vibe. And then also you have the silver touches on the logos and the trim, giving that like metallic feel to it. Inter Miami, or as I like to call them, Inter, just to piss off my friend. I think just in general, Inter Miami really nailed their color scheme down. Black and pink, you know, that Miami Vice, or at least a little bit of that Miami Vice. And again, we see it with their away shirts. It's fantastic. I'll give it a good grade. What kind of bugs me a bit about modernized retro designs is that they modernize it too much to the point that it just loses the identity of the original design. And that's the case for LA Galaxy's away shirt that they've just released. It's clean. I really do like the incorporation of the colors, the yellows and the reds on the collar and the trim. But when you look at the old shirt it takes inspiration from, there's a lot of untapped potential here. Next, we have LAFC's away shirt called the Smokescreen, which is actually inspiration for the current air quality in Los Angeles. I'm actually kind of a fan of this shirt. It does have like a very interesting color to it that I actually do enjoy. I feel like it really works with the smoke design here. Here is 100% my favorite shirt so far though. Minnesota United's away shirts, the Northern Lights shirts. The way that they've managed to incorporate geometric designs and make this Northern Lights effect, it's just beautiful. You could actually wear this on the streets without people realizing this is a football shirt. It is that good. Nashville FC, as opposed to their logo, which looks so fucking bad and so soulless, has a really cool inspiration for their shirts. The away shirt is dubbed Men in Black, which pays homage to Johnny Cash, an old country singer. And no, don't worry, it's not that post 9/11 country, it's actually the good country. Like I said with black shirts, keep it simple, and honestly, I'll really enjoy them. And this one is pretty much the cream of the crop. Solid black design, some silver here or there, boom, bang, boom, it is fantastic. New England Revolution with their Defiance kit. Me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I know some people do really like this one. I don't know, it's just not doing it for me. NYCFC's home shirt next. It's very much your standard NYCFC shirt, except this time there's a subtle pattern on it. And that pattern is inspired by the ceramic work of New York's world-famous subway stations. It reminds me of Kawasaki Frontale's shirt from last year. That one was awful. This one isn't as bad, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I still don't really like it. I actually kind of dig the new New York Red Bulls home shirts. Instead of a white, it's like a light yellow, which I think really works well with the sun in the back there. And then you have the effects of blue here or there, kind of giving you that idea of, you know, Red Bull gives you wings, like you're actually in the sky here. But yeah, no, massive credit to New York Red Bulls. I never thought that a light yellow would give it more of that electric vibe you would think you'd get from an energy drink. Orlando City's home shirt. We call this one The Wall. It's called The Wall because it pays homage to the fans that rally week in, week out to defend the fortress. Unlike Charlotte FC's purple, this is a purple that is done perfectly. This very dark selection of a purple allows the gold to shine even more. And of course, the reason why it is called The Wall is because there's like a brick wall design on the front of the shirt. But they didn't just go for a simple brick wall pattern. It's like a bunch of lines making up a brick wall, kind of giving it more definition. Overall, probably my favorite Orlando shirt so far. Philadelphia's away shirts, or as many like to call it, the Simpsons intro. There's a camouflage design with different shades of light blue and tan. It also has a little bit of a crayon effect, which I really like. The touch of just the serpent on the shirt as well as the club badge looks really sick. Also, if you look at some of the promotion images for this, you can see that the design on the base of the shirt is kind of inspiration of the overall atmosphere of Philadelphia. I would say actually Philadelphia has one of the most passionate fan bases in the league, just judging from every single time I've watched a Union match. I like the shirts, I just don't think it's anything exceptional. Portland Timbers 2023 home shirt called the Portland Plaid Kit. This shirt though, it's like lip smacking good. I don't know, I'm coming up with adjectives here. Just the different shades of green to create this plaid effect looks so slick. And then you have the whites of the Adidas logo and the sponsor, which actually works really well with the shirt. I think it actually makes it even better looking. And don't even forget the gold on the sleeves and the collar there. I remember Portland Timbers home shirts always banging. I mean, the color scheme is just something that you can really work with here. And this one is probably the best Portland Timbers shirt I've seen ever. Real Salt Lake, what do they have here? The Beehive Kit. I didn't even realize this, but Utah's the Beehive State? Do people even live in Utah? That's another question. It's not bad, it's just, you know, we've seen the other shirts that have been released and this just looks very bland. Next we have the San Jose Earthquakes with their Active Fault Kit. That design, though, looks actually very familiar. Hold on, give me a second. Oh yeah, I was right. It's just like the third shirt that Real Madrid has. I'll give it credit, though. It looks far better than the Real Madrid third shirt. That being said, I'm not really feeling it. Cool color scheme. I feel like they really can work with something here, but they always falter. I'm gonna go end it. Good God! What do we have here? We have easily the biggest A+ of the video, of honestly any kit grading video so far, I'd say. We have the Seattle Sounders Bruce Lee kit. Now, why did Seattle go for a Bruce Lee kit? Well, Bruce Lee's most prominent years in the US was during his time in Seattle. This is where he got a higher education, really established himself as a martial arts icon, and, you know, also met his future wife. For the design on the shirt, Seattle went for a dragon because that's what Bruce Lee was nicknamed as. I thought that Real Madrid's 2014 third shirt would never be beaten, but we have a massive contender for that spot. The scales of the dragon are in pristine detail. Everything from the colors, the shades of red, the yellow, even the touches of black. I mean, this just... it's phenomenal. It's a chef's kiss. It's a certified chef's kiss. Next, we have Kansas City's 2023 home shirts, and it really captures how you feel when you drive through Kansas. Nothing. We have a new expansion club in MLS, and they have a far better shirt than we do right now. Pretty cool color scheme as well. You got some pinkish red, some yellow, and dark blue. It's a good home shirt to start the expansion. Nothing too crazy, nothing too underwhelming. I think just right. Also, now looking at the design on one half, it's supposed to be the famous St. Louis arch. I'm not really sure I see it. Next, we have the St. Louis away shirt. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much sums up the rest of Missouri outside St. Louis. Toronto released a new home shirt called the Club Kit. This is the first time, though, that Toronto has ever had, I believe, a black and gray base for a shirt, especially with the hoop design as well. I'm not the biggest fan of this design whatsoever. I think just the red base is good enough for Toronto FC. Whenever I think of a good Toronto FC shirt, I think of the one with the maple leaf, like the giant one on the base. Just do more of that, Toronto. Or, you know, go for a blue design because you have like 3 Italians on your team now. Next, we have Vancouver Whitecaps 2023 home shirts, and it's really boring. I went to Vancouver last year, and it is nothing like what this shirt is showing you. It's one of the most diverse cities I think I've ever been to, aside from New York and a few other places. I was in an Uber once, and actually was talking to the Uber driver. I know, rare, but he was talking about how if you wanted a certain food in Vancouver, you could get it. And it'd be good. That's how rich in culture this city is. You've seen teams really pull off their culture well. Vancouver, what the hell is this? So that was all the new MLS shirts. What was your favorite? What was your least favorite? Were they much better than the World Cup of 2022? Oh, absolutely, no question. Like I said, if we can get this video to 7,000 likes, I'll do a grading kits video for the J-League. But of course, a massive shout out to all our patrons, including Janos Balash, Chris Damasceno, El Fabi, Miliway009, Weston Ware, Aldipu, Alex Rod, Ulta, Amin Sumes, Araisan, Carlos Anaya, Daniel Ortiz, Francisco Hernandez, Juan Leras, Miguel Munoz, Nguyen Mintang, Return Fire, Rory Burns, Saw, The Motor Drive, Tomicus, Trevor Batson, Vanilla Mexican 17, Victor, David Dunn, Declan Malloy, Dominic Griffin, Emmett Shea, Lewis, Joe Aparicio, Jordan Clavet, MX Weeb, Niche, Patrick Barley, and Unbroken Persona. If you'd like to join the Patreon, there'll be a link down below and up in the annotations. You can follow my Twitter if you want, follow my Instagram if you like, follow my TikTok, trying to get to 20,000 there, and of course you can follow my semi-active Twitch. But until then, I'll see you guys.